Hey everyone, this is Daniel and today is a continuation of my PowerApps Hidden Gem series, and this is the 14th video. But today I'm going to focus exclusively on Project Oakdale. So one of the things I want to say is that this is not exactly a Hidden Gems one, but there'll be a few things that I want to cover about over there. And these are actually the 6 things that I'll be talking about. They are really neat and I really call them as the gems of Project Oakdale. Even though right now it's in the preview, I'm going to call out these 6 things over here. So stay tuned and we'll walk through these 6 things. But first, here's my intro. So quick recap about the 6 gems that I want to talk about. And again, this is in preview right now. Project Oakdale is still in preview. But these are the 6 things that really popped out to me. I want to share that with you all. So first thing is there's an option to pin, and I'll show you how you can pin the app inside Teams. Where to find that edit and delete functionalities, it's kind of hidden, so I want to show that over there. The new container control is going to come in over there, and that's going to take the group feature to a whole different level. Date picker control has got this new feature, which I kind of showed in one of my other videos as well, but I want to show that again because it is wow. I mean, I love that one feature. It's like, I'll show you why it is so important. Built-in connection for Teams, I'll show you where that is. And then finally, the team environment group in the Power Platform Admin Center, I'll show you that as well. Like, it'll all make sense when I show it to you, all right? So let's jump in. I'm going to get off my PowerPoint presentation. And here is the first thing that I want to show on. So, well, actually, why do you not get into my Teams? Now, I have already gone ahead and built a quick demo on Teams and the Project Oakdale Power Apps. And I've shown that in my other video. I put the link over here. Plus, Shane Young, Reza Dorani over there. All of us went ahead and kind of showed a whole bunch of videos on this, and I've already put their links down over here. I've got the links in the other one, so I'm not going to focus too much on how to build an app, but I want to focus on these hidden gem ones over here. All right, so the pin is basically now, if you've already built a Project Oakdale or a PowerApps app inside Teams over here, and if you can't find it, here's how you go search for it. You click on the ellipses over here which says more added apps. You click on that, and then you go search for PowerApps, and as you can see the nice new PowerApps with the new logo. Click on that. And then when you click on that, it will go ahead and actually open up into the preview section. But if you go and right click on it, that gives you the functionality to go and pin it. And once it's pinned, as you can see, it went big and then small and then big. That's going to always be there. So the pin functionality is going to save you that extra steps to go and find that over there. All right. This is not the pin that you're used to seeing on the Teams or on the top navigation over there. This is to actually pin the Power Apps over here. So now if I were to go ahead and, find something else and come back, I don't have to go and search for it. It's already there. All right. So that is the hidden gem or the gem number 1. Second one I want to talk about is the delete and the edit functionality. Now, what does that mean? Now, it's easy for me to come over here and click on create an app and I can go start building the app. But the other thing is, Daniel, where do I go ahead and edit an existing app, or where do I even delete the apps? So to do that though, you got to come over here, because watch the way this is built is right now. If I go into Power Apps and watch, I'm on this, I've logged into myself over here. This is my tenant, but if I go into say Power Apps, I'm coming into the Power Apps over here and I come into my tenant, I don't see those apps that I've created in Teams. At least I don't see them now. Remember, this is all in preview and I can't find them anywhere else. I got to come inside Teams over here. And then if I want to edit or even delete one, once I'm in Power Apps, I'm in the home one over here, I got to come over here and say see more. When I click on see more, that is where I see all my apps tied to my environment. And so I see one over here, Power Apps Champion is a team in my Teams. And then in my Teams, I've got this environment tied to that team. So this is where I see it. Same thing. Family Health is a team. In that team, I've got this environment tied to it, and this is where I see those over here. So now that I've come over here into the PowerApps preview and I can see it, I can do 2 things. I can come and now actually click on select all or see all. And once I see all, this is the view that I really like, because from here I can go ahead and do multiple things. But the important one for the sake of this video is I can click on this, and then I can do some funky things. I can go ahead and delete it. And this is also where I can go back into the studio and and do some editing as well. So this is the key thing, is to go ahead and come straight into PowerApps, go see all your app, and then come over here when you can see the apps, and then start working on either editing it or deleting it. So that was the gem number 2. Now for the gem number 3, I want to actually go into the app. So let's actually pick any random app that I have. I'm going to go say, I think I have one in the PowerApps champion side, and I'm going to pick any one of these that I have. Come over here, and that's a Canvas app. I don't want to open it there. I just want to click on that, and I'll edit it. And so the studio directly opens up into Teams over here. It's just a big wow. I mean, it's all inside Teams over here, and it's opening up. And I want to show you this one neat functionality, and that is the container. Now, while this is opening up, I want to jump into my the PowerApps Studio. So when I go into the PowerApps Studio here, if you log in through make.powerapps.com, log into the studio, going into the PowerApps over here, if you want to see that container control, the container control, you would actually first have to go into advanced settings, scroll down over here, keep scrolling, go to the experimental ones over here, and you got to turn it on, because right now it is experimental features, and then it's available, but it's off. You got to go and turn it on. But here it shows it as experimental. However, in the PowerApps over there through the Project Oakdale in Teams, it shows that as it's in preview. So that's kind of giving a little bit more hint that this is coming out. But I personally am so looking forward to the container control, because it's got that functionality where, remember now, if you go ahead and get a bunch of other groups together, and let's see if I can do a quick demo for you as well. I come over here, I add this label, I go ahead and add a text one over here, I go ahead and add a combo box. All right, I'm just adding a bunch of things over here. I do select that, I hold my shift button down, select, right click, and I can group them in. Now, what happens if I go ahead and drop something else, like I put up image? How do I do that? I can't even go ahead and drag that in. I can't do right click and add it over there. I can't do any of that. And that is where container is going to make that as a huge step up, because what happens in container is, now if I go ahead and go in my inputs, now that I've turned it on in the preview, I come over here and in the container, I just put that separately so we don't get confused. And now let me go ahead and even ungroup these. Now I can right click over here, and I can go ahead and Control C. Right now it's just only copy and paste. I come here and I paste it, so it's in my container. All right, then I copy over here, Control copy, and then I paste it again in my container. And that's the beauty of it, is I can go ahead and now do all these things into my container, and I don't have to go ahead and ungroup it, select them all again, and then group them back over here. I can just do it inside a container. One of the beauties which is in the container is whatever is inside the container is going to be more responsive. But this is in the preview, and I don't want to share all the secrets here. There's more to come on that. One thing few things I know and I'm excited about the container is, first of all, it makes grouping a lot easier, because I don't have to ungroup it and select again. I can just keep adding things into the group. And second thing is that inside the container, the responsiveness is going to be a lot more UI and UX friendly. So stay tuned for that. In PowerApps Studio, it shows it's an experimental, but when we go into the Project Oakdale, over there it actually shows directly available. So I've opened up an existing broken app that I have over here. But one of the things I want to do is I come up over here on the tree view side, actually not tree, over here on the plus, and in fact it's not on the plus, I come back over here, and when I opened up the app directly, by default I was able to see 2 of these controls over here, then the container ones, and they're already in, and they already are going to give you the functionality to go ahead and drop things in. It's not, you still have the functionality to add groups, so groups will work, groups won't break, it'll work, but the container will come in as well. All right, so that's the third hidden gem over there. Now, the fourth one, and I think I've already added this, so I'll go ahead and drop that, is the date calendar. Now, just for the comparison's sake, let me switch over to my other cat over here. This is in the studio, so I'm going to come back like in the PowerApps Studio. It's not inside Teams yet, but it's in the PowerApps Studio. Come on to the input, and I go ahead and add my date picker. Now, if I were to do my Shift Alt and I click on it, we know this. You're all familiar with it, all right? There's where you go and select the month. You go ahead and select the year, and then you can also go and actually select the date. But none of this helps saving as long as you click the OK. And this has been a thorn in the flesh for a lot of people. In fact, to prove that to you, there was actually even a post made in the PowerApps ideas. And I want to thank M_White Knight. It says, a user should not be required to click OK after selecting a date. And it echoes a lot of people with our thoughts and our ideas over there. So this has been put over there. And finally, again, this is a proof that the product group for the entire Power Platform, they listen, they accept it. They also watch to see how many votes are there, because at the time, everybody has to go ahead and prioritize things. So they were watching this, because I know it's watching it because I have proof. I come over here now, and in my Project Oakdale, which is PowerApps inside Teams, I come over here, and now I go back to adding a control, and I come over control, and I see the date picker. Looks the exact same icon. There's a little bit of a difference. First of all, it's a little grayed out, so not too bad. But if I head on preview and I click on this, watch what happens. Its look and feel has changed, all right? And it still gives it the same functionality. It's able to go ahead and click on the dates. I can manipulate the dates. I can manipulate the year. Again, none of that. And I can go ahead and manipulate the actual date itself. But notice something that's missing. The OK button is not there, which means that if I were to just come in over here and I selected something and accidentally clicked outside, I did not lose the date that I put over there. So, woohoo! Thank you so much for doing this, the entire product group over there. You heard what we asked for, you heard what I asked for, and you actually did it over here. So I'm very excited. Thank you for that. So that was my favorite part of this entire hidden gem anyway, is the fourth one, which is the date picker. But I want to do some comparison. I want to show you also about the connections that are there. And in fact, this one, I want to talk about the Teams connection, but I'll do some comparison, all right? So again, this is the building of the app inside the Teams. And when I come over here in the tree view, up on here, you see that this is a Teams connection directly into that app. Now, sometimes the term connection can be misleading because, hey, did you add a connector? So what I want to say is that this is not so much as a connector. It is more of a, direct connection, that you've opened up this studio directly from Teams. Therefore, Teams is tied up and it is directly on the top over there. Now, when I first saw this, it reminded me of two other ones, and I want to show that to you. I come over here and I'm going to go and pull, let's say, an app that I had built right here. This app is actually from a SharePoint list. And see that back to SharePoint list? It's called a customized form. So when I opened up that customized form, it directly opens up in this PowerApps Studio, and it did the exact same thing over there. In fact, this is how it was before. Since this PowerApps Studio is directly tied to SharePoint, SharePoint is connected way on the top over there. It says that by default, this app is tied to that SharePoint list over there. And that's exactly what this Teams means over here too, is that when you're opening up in this canvas, by default, this canvas is tied to that team. And that's what it means over here. But it's not just SharePoint which looks like that. In fact, when I would come up over here and I would even open up my Power BI integration one, got a bunch of videos on that, by the way. I come over here and I go ahead and I've embedded my Power App directly into the report of Power BI. But when I open this one up over here, it shows Power BI integration. So this is actually similarities, which is a repetition that it opened in a SharePoint integration was there. In fact, Power BI was first, then the SharePoint integration was there, and now it's on Teams as well. So this is, what I'm trying to say is this is a tried and tested method. It's not completely new over there. It is tried and tested. They've done it, they know how it works, and they've just factored that into the Teams as well. So that was actually the fifth one, which is the built-in connection for Teams directly into the PowerApps Studio. Now, finally, for the sixth one, I want to talk about how you can see the capacity piece over there. So let's go into the PowerApps over here. I've logged into my PowerApps, and in my PowerApps, I'm going into my admin center. So I can come over here, I can click on the admin center. I actually already have it open, and this is where it comes by default. Now, there's two things you can see. First of all, you can see that the environments that were created through Teams, they show up in your environments over here. And you can see directly which one is which, like the developer, production default. Those were the environments built inside PowerApps when I was over here in the PowerApps. But these two, where they say type is Microsoft Teams, that really helps to understand that, oh, these are the two environments that were tied to Teams. So this differentiation over here really helps kind of understand which one is which. But I really love on the capacity side, because this is just environments. On the capacity side, when you come in over here, again as a Power Platform admin, gives you the summary, but they break it down into 2 tabs. One is on the storage capacity. In the storage capacity, they're showing that these are the ones, the 4 environments that I have tied to my PowerApps only. But they've added a third tab, which is the Microsoft Team capacity usage. When I click over here, I only see the 2 that were there, the environments created by team. So this segregation, or the division that they've done over here, really helps. I hope they did that in the environments as well, because it would be really helpful for me to see, which one were from PowerApps, which one were Teams. So, if you think that's important over there, go ahead and, post a question in the community and go vote for that. But either way, the point over here was to go ahead and see that, I can show the environments, I can differentiate which one of them are the teams over there, and then I can also go in the capacity and see what is the capacity coming from directly the PowerApps and what is the capacity directly tied to the teams over there. So these were the 6 things that I wanted to talk about. Hopefully that got you excited. Hopefully that got you motivated to at least start playing with it. It is in preview, so definitely not production worthy. New features are coming out over there, but definitely start playing with it. And as always, keep power apping.